My thesis is that by May 2020, which is just in a few months, my thesis is that media outlets like this one, I think their narratives are going to shift from Bitcoin dismissal, like what you see here. I think it's going to shift to explaining the halving and the related price rally because they clearly know about it. I think they're going to teach the public as it happens. And in my opinion, the people who think that the halving is already priced in, they don't take into account the vast majority of investors in the traditional space who right now are completely apathetic about Bitcoin. This halving is going to create some buzz, and that's going to create the news. And when this makes news, the general public is going to be reminded or made aware that Bitcoin is not dead. It happens every halving. And then what happens over the next few months, going into the next few years, as the general public, in waves, goes from apathetic to realizing that Bitcoin is not dead. That, in fact, it's been going strong for 11, almost 12, going on to 13 years. I mean, Bitcoin's almost a teenager at this point. Awareness for Bitcoin is about to really ramp up, I think. Slowly, then suddenly. Now, if we couple that with what I think is going to happen, which is at the very least over the next year, at the very least, we see a slow, steady grind up. What do you think is going to happen as people in waves slowly start realizing that Bitcoin is still here? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments below. All right, now let's go over the most recent pressing pieces of news. I want to keep you updated on everything that you need to know going on in the space today. And this first news story goes along with what we were just talking about. Check this out. Banks and asset managers can no longer ignore Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is a big deal. It would be irresponsible if they ignored it. Check this out. Banks and traditional asset managers used to stay away from Bitcoin and other cryptos, fearing for their reputation, scared of lack of regulations and wild volatility. However, the recent performance proved that Bitcoin should not be ignored. Check this out. A recent survey carried out by Eureka Hedge Fund found that dedicated crypto funds returned 6% more than traditional hedge funds. They say Bitcoin has a higher return on a 1, 3, and 10-year basis than any other asset class. When the returns are so high, investors will have to pile in. And as the Bitcoin price continues to move higher, more institutional investors are thinking about the allocation of a small portion of their portfolios into crypto. Do you realize that it is their job to get the greatest return on investment possible? And when they see dedicated crypto funds outperforming them and Bitcoin alone outperforming them, all of a sudden they're in hot water with their team and their executives because now they're irresponsible. They didn't devote 1, 2, 3% into Bitcoin. Think about that. Next piece of news. Buying $1 of Bitcoin every day since 2015 would have made you rich. This is why cost averaging is king. So if you don't want to hear how much you would have made if you just would have allocated $1 a day in the last 5 years, look away. Suffice to say, it would have been a very good rate of return indeed. And the answer is, if you would have ended up spending $1,858 $1 a day over 5 years, and you would have been in profit with $20,405. So you'd have made $20,000 by investing less than $2,000. It's pretty good. How about a little world news? You probably know this. China's central bank injects entire Bitcoin market cap into its economy. This happened just today. China's central bank will inject the equivalent of 21 million Bitcoins into their markets. This happened today. 1.2 trillion yen or 174 billion equals Bitcoin's entire market cap. Everything is fine. I'm going to like this. I'm going to share this. I want to support this guy. Next piece of news. Bitcoin usage among merchants is up, according to data from Coinbase and BitPay. This is good. Although Bitcoin adoption may move at a glacial pace, merchants are seeing sustained traction regardless of market dips. According to BitPay Chief Marketing Officer Bill Zielke, the payment processor facilitates $1 billion worth of crypto transactions in 2019, with Bitcoin leading the pack. Likewise, a Coinbase spokesperson said Coinbase Commerce processed $135 million worth of crypto payments for thousands of merchants in 2019, which represents a 600% increase in the number of unique transactions via Coinbase Commerce since 2018. Ether and various stablecoins make up a small percentage of both the above-mentioned totals, with Chainalysis reportedly estimating roughly $4 billion in Bitcoin alone was sent through the payment processor in 2019. As such, Coinbase is looking to build out its merchant services in 2020. They say in 2020, we're hyper-focused on providing a complete merchant experience with business features and insights, better serving other geographies with internationalization, adding more currencies, and building seamless integration that leverage other Coinbase products. Regardless how you feel about BitPay, regardless how you feel about Coinbase, the fact is their numbers for merchant use through these services are up, and in 2020 they are laser focused because the competition for this kind of stuff is heating up. They go on to mention competitors in the article below what I read. Final piece of news, I think, and if you're following us on our Twitter, you would know this, but check this out because there's something about this you might not know. Jack Dorsey enables Bitcoin emoji on Twitter posts. So this is something that you know. And you can see he tweeted it out. He was one of the first people to tweet this right here. Now maybe something you don't know. His tweet also tags the Twitter account for Unicode, which is the computer text and emoji standard for the internet, possibly pushing for the administrating consortium to introduce an emoji that can be used across all web platforms. So he made this for Twitter, but he's tagging Unicode because Jack wants to see a Bitcoin emoji made standard. I like that. And also, I don't know if you are following us on our Twitter, if you type in Bitcorn, they're going to put a corn after it. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a quick look at the price of Bitcoin. We're still trading in between this channel of 9,190 to 9,440. And until we break above or below, who's to say where short term will go? Of course, if we do break below, nothing to worry about. Hopefully that will be a higher low, leading to an eventual higher high. Taking a look at our Twitter real quick, we retweeted this person just the other day. She's an LA native. She's on TV. She tweeted out, "Pay me in Bitcoin, please." More and more people wanting to be paid in Bitcoin. And also, I don't know if you agree with this. I tweeted this out the other day. Unpopular opinion. Altcoin Daily has educated more people on Bitcoin and turned more people into Bitcoiners than most Bitcoin maximalists. In my opinion, and this truly is my opinion, a lot of Bitcoin maximalists preach to the choir while Altcoin Daily speaks to the masses, because we try and keep our videos accessible to the 99% of people who aren't in the crypto space thus far. This was a hot take, if I do say so myself, a controversial take, so let me know what you think about this. And all right, thank you everybody. Great video today. My name is Aaron. Let's chat it up in the comments below. I will be responding to at least in the first hour or two, I'll be responding. So let me know what you think about everything. All right, see you tomorrow, guys.
The Chinese government out in Beijing, cryptocurrency, it's a real thing. Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you got a lot of that, you're a wealthy man. But if you go to the Republic of China, get a little coin out, yeah, it's a shiner. See all the sunlight reflect off the currency. They're not doing that well though currently. A trade war coming on between here and China. Yeah, the White House in fear saying, oh gap, yeah, we got those tariffs, gotta keep the money in that balance. If you don't study it fiscally, there's no laughs in here, it's a risk for me. But